Hey, what's up gamers? This is Mystic. Welcome back to my long-awaited part 7 on how to build an epic glitch castle. I know some of you have been waiting for this video for a while now, but I've been doing a bunch of other videos, including the boxes event that just came up, and I haven't really had time to get back to this. I apologize, but we're back to it now, so we're all good. Since you last saw this, I took up, as you can see, all the scaffolding rugs that were on the sides, because we really don't need them anymore. What we're going to do now is go back to putting up the outside walls like we had, and that's the next one right there. So I'm going to get myself back up in here where we left off and put up some more walls. This is just the outside walls, and we'll be able to move and change them as we go. They're not wanting to let me up on the rug for some reason. There we go. There we go. Didn't want to let me up there for some odd reason. Alright, so where we left off, we pick up this wall and put all of our outside walls in first. Gives us a good basis to work with. We know where everything is going to go or fit. Like that one goes right in there. I've got to get down. The drawback of this is you've got to get down about every time to move your big rug, because you really can't put two walls on one the way it sits. Just like I did before, remember to move your big rug out of the way first, so that when you move the small rug it won't interfere with anything. Move that over here. Just have to get ourselves back up on there. We'll give this a turn. Okay, see how it glitched out on me? It didn't want to turn that way, so it glitched out a little bit, and you can see where the boxes didn't quite fit right. When you see that, immediately get it out of your house and fix it out here on the land where it won't hurt anything, because that will give you trouble later. I promise you it will give you trouble later. Trouble that you do not want. Trouble means you have to tear a bunch of stuff down. Just put it back where it belongs, and then give it a turn out here, and it'll be just fine. Hop up there. He's not wanting to hop up on some of this glitch tonight for some odd reason. And space it just about right. Let me get over there so I can see it a little bit better. I can't. That is pretty tight right there. I'll have to go around. Get a good idea where you can see it. That's just about right. I can see the edge of the rug just about where the wall starts. Yeah, that looks good. Pick up a wall. Like that. No fuss, no muss, no problem. And move the big rug again. This is just a series of moving the rug. Right now we're just in a series of the same thing over and over, moving the rug down. That should be about right. Turn it and see. Yeah, that's just about right. Get ourselves back up there. There we go. And like I said before, turn the wall a different way so that they're not all exactly the same, looking like a cookie cutter. Put it down. Make sure you're not overlapping or coming too far in or too far out. We got one more bit for the front. Now we're not going to put a second layer of walls on the front, and you're going to see why when we get to that stage. That's going to be our second floor patio type thing that we're going to have going on. And we can put that under, no problem. There we go. Come around because I won't be able to get past all those boxes. Okay, there we go. Pick it up, put it on. Position just right, and on. Now, the next part, and that's going to be where we start setting the inner hallways and that bit of stuff. But before we do that, we've got another little issue we need to take care of. what we're going to do, back up off of here and get off this rug. Follow the floor. Move this. Get this entirely out of the way. Before you start putting up your second floor walls, you're going to put up your steps to get to the second floor. And the reason for that is, like I told you earlier, you can't move something underneath something else without moving everything above it. So you've got to lay on the steps and then lay on your upper floor walls and floors and etc. So to do that, we're going to use our handy dandy small rug. I'll get back there, I see where it's at exactly. Now of course the first step is going to be ground level, just like the stairs work. So a little bit further over, we're going to go with, if we can land, there. So our first ground floor step will be here, and then we'll have another step here, and then we'll have two boxes, and the fourth step will take us to the second floor, pretty much leveled out. Alright, to put a step here, what we got to do is we're going to back this rug up just a little bit. I need to see that for distance, but we're going to back this up just a little bit. Maybe there. And then we need to not get hung up on that painting again. I swear I hang up on that thing every time I walk by it. Alright, we're going to pick up this mess here because we need that spotted half rug. And pick up one of these bolted boards. Put the bolted board down there. Spotted half rug. And this is going to be our first step up to the upper floor. And estimating, we want it to go into the wall so that it looks kind of natural. Let's see if that's close enough to it or not. I'll have to go up front to see. I can't quite tell if it's an angle. See how it doesn't quite go in there? So we've got to cancel that out and move our lunar rug a little bit closer to the wall. Cancel that out. Just a little bit closer. There we go. Because we want the end of those bolted boards to go into the wall. So all we see is the board steps and not all the mess that goes with it. Grab it by the small rug. This should fit just about. There we go. See, you can just see the binding on the board sticking out. But that might be too close. Yep, that's too close. I'm going to put it there for a second just to test it out and see how it looks. Okay, move this out of the way. Close this because you don't accidentally grab something you didn't intend to. Yeah, I think that step is a little... maybe a little bit close. Yeah, it's kind of binding me up there. So yeah, that's a little bit close. Not quite fitting right. We want to move it just a little bit further over. I'd like to find a smaller board to do that. But the problem with the smaller boards is they're too narrow. They'll get too narrow and you'll have to put too many and you'll have too many steps and it'll start cluttering things up. Move. Plus, the narrower steps like that, the more steps you use, the more item slots you burn. Come back here like this with it a little bit. See if that looks any better. I might be able to do this in just 2 steps rather than 3 with these boxes, but we'll have to see. And in. And run into the table and bark your knees. Not quite fitting right again. Oh. The part where you've got to move it 500 times. One space should be enough though. It's really deceiving, some of these angles sometimes. Let's see if I can grab it from here. Yeah, I think I've got it. I do believe I have it. See if it fits any better this time. There we go. I think we've got it that time. And now it doesn't want to set. Come on, buddy. Really? Sometimes. Yeah, I like it there. There we go. I know that's close to our counter, but it's not touching our counter. Hey, fine by me. Let's see how that looks. That step really, I wish we had a board that was a little bit closer. I'm gonna, you know what? I think I'm gonna take a look really quick and see if I can find a smaller board or a better board to use for that. I was thinking I had a good distance with those bolted boards, but it's looking really tight that way. Just hang on a minute, let me see what I can find as far as a different step to use. Okay, I looked and I didn't find anything I really liked better than the bolted boards, so we're going to go with the bolted boards and just deal with that extra distance that it seems like it wants to cover on the way. I think I've got the first one in place just right. You can double check this, take a look. So that it looks like we've got actually a little bit of room for our step, and it'll take us like that. See, it climbs us right up like steps. Plus the end is kind of straight and nice, like you'd want a step to be. I mean, the end of the step is going to show from down here because we're not going to have a wall down here. This isn't going to be an enclosed stairwell. It's just going to be a stairwell that gets us to the second floor. So yes, I think I am going to end up using these bolted boards for our steps, which means I need to get that spotted half rug out of there. And move. Be careful with these steps, again, to move it out here and then pick it up, just so you don't accidentally grab the step up and waste your time. Okay, so we know we've got that. Now what I need to do is set my next step up. Put that up there, there, and add this crate to our stack where our lunar rug is at, so that basically you have a natural progression of steps. I must have I put it out here. Oops, forgot totally. Absent-minded. Okay. Put it there. Move that up. Now, as you've seen in the earlier videos, or as I mentioned in the earlier videos, you can go 3 boxes up, 3 of these jelly bean crates tall, and still be picked up. It's only whenever you exceed that height that you can't go up anymore. So what we want to do is put our okay, let me see what we got here. Measure our distance. I might have to put my small spotted rug more towards the end of the bolted boards to get it to give me a natural step progression. We'll see how that works out here in a minute. Okay, so what I want to do to get that step to work right, I need to put this more towards this end, because that way when it sits on the rug, it'll mat up with the other step and still yet give us a forward extension. You'll see what I mean. You know how steps are built. I mean, they move up and forward like this. That is going to be right in our that is going to be right in our whoops. See, that's what I mean. See, I got trapped now. I didn't lock that down, and I fell off the step, and now I'm stuck in the counter. That's what I'm talking about getting yourself glitched into furniture. Cancel that out. The only way to get out of this, well, maybe I can play the move game. I see, it won't let you move it either because you're stuck into it. The only way to get out of that is to port. And then port back to your house. That's what you get for falling off. As a side note, welcome to my tapestry dorm room. You can pop to your dorm from anywhere on the spiral, and then from this room, you can pop to anywhere else you need to go. There's Nightside and the Jade Palace and the Bazaar and Celestia everywhere. This is essentially my teleporter room, except it doesn't look cluttered up with teleporters. And what I've done is glitch them so they float in midair like that. And to make them float like this, go ahead and take a look at my floating wand glitch video, because it's the same principle. You do the same thing to make this float as you do wands. I'm just kind of talking right now to get my minute to run out so I can go back to the house. And maybe back. There we go. Okay, back over here. I'm afraid we're not really getting a lot done in this video because of the things that are going on. Now I'm going to move this stair back just a little bit more. Hopefully it won't run up on that cabinet like it did before, that shelf that we have in there. I'd like it if it didn't. It doesn't look quite kind of right whenever we have it that way. If it doesn't, I'm going to move that bottom step out of there and get it to sit right. Yeah, just a little bit not right. So let's do that. Let's move this out of the way. This is along those lines, that fitting and refitting that you're going to have to end up doing. There we go. Grab the rug, and it'll get the board out for you. So this time I want to put that board just a little bit closer to the wall, but not so close that it grabs us up and makes it too hard to get up the steps like we had the first time. Put that there. Just pick the whole thing up, save trouble. Pick it up. And here, and we got to reset that rug again. Back here. I'm going to try to set it a little bit closer this time so it doesn't mess me up as much. Grab it up. I'm going to get these steps set up and probably end this video. I know we didn't get a lot done in it, but this is some of the fine detail stuff that you really need to be careful with, so it is kind of important to have it in there. It's too far. I think that might be what we want to do. I'm pretty sure that second step will just come right to the end of the shelf and not hit it. Alright, let me move this back up there. And move it a little bit forward. Just a little bit. Maybe I'm going to put it on this side, actually. Yeah, let's put it there. Get our rug picked up. Get it out of the way and come back and put another one in. Put another set of steps in. We'll get the steps up. At least we'll get that done. Pick it up, clean up that mess. This time we're going to put the board down a little differently. See how I position it this time. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It overlaps more than I really want it to, but it also doesn't hit that shelf, and that I definitely don't want it to do. It messes up the whole look. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. So we pop it down there and get it out of there, and we'll get a third box under there and put our last step up. Let me close this out so you can see what's going on. See, by the time we get to the third step, we'll be level with the second floor. And that's the beauty of those jelly bean crates. They're all standard, and it gives you a nice standard square thing whenever you're working for it. The next time we'll see where the glitch wall is at, and the second floor wall stops, where the hole's out behind me. That's about where that step will go, and it'll get us up above this stuff and out of the way. Because the fourth step will be the actual decking for the second floor. Okay. Move this over. As much as I can. I'm thinking right about there. No, it was a little bit closer to that, wasn't it? No, that'll be right. Let's try that. All right. This down. Now, I would go and do a little bit more, but I'm trying to get the time down on these videos a little bit, because I know that watching a 20 to 25 minute video sometimes is almost a job, And I don't want you guys to feel that way about it. So I'm going to make these videos just a little bit shorter from now on, and maybe make some more steps in them. You know, we'll have more videos, but they won't be as long. All right. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Maybe leave me a comment about other games or other series you'd like to see me play. Or if you want, just leave a comment to talk to me, because I love to talk to you guys back. This is Skelamistic reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace. Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skelamistic. Welcome back to part 8 of my series on how to build an epic glitch castle. Whenever we left off, we were putting the board steps up the back wall so we can make it to the second floor. Let's see where we're at here on this. And we had gotten this far, and we're about to put